Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go!
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders, coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina. My good friend, the number one Gamecock YouTuber on the planet, is Mr. Carolina Jackpot. He is Kale Hall. I don't know where the hell Kale is, but welcome to the program, sir.
Now, I'm in Lumberton, North Carolina, where I'm at every fucking week. It's not a mystery anymore.
I can't remember that shit. I thought you'd like to forget Lumberton. I didn't know if you wanted me to remind you about that every fucking week. I don't know.
Well, it's right outside there, so.
All right, so apologies for missing Sunday show. I've been dealing with a cold, and I decided that fuck it, we're gonna get after it tonight. We actually plan to do this on Sunday night, where we're going to flip the schedules. We're going to try to determine and try to be fair as far as what we think South Carolina would do with Clemson's schedule, what Clemson would do with South Carolina's schedule. Should be fun, right, Jackpot?
This is going to be immense fun. You'll tickle your innards.
It'll tickle your innards. That's funny. All right, let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart. Retro video games, food, all kinds of good stuff at Callaway's, callaway'sbarandgrill.com. Also, Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport. Say a prayer for Dennis, as his company's having to deal with diesel fuel being like $6 a gallon. Holy shit with all that. But Dennis, of course, sponsors Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story.
All righty. Sucks to be a Gamecock. Our baseball team is so shitty we have lost to Charlotte, Presbyterian, USC Upstate, the Citadel, and Xavier in midweek. We are a disgrace to the national titles we have. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
A message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. We appreciate Dennis for sponsoring the show. All right, Jackpot.
Elijah Allen down in the comment section says, let me see, he asked me a question.
Oh, what do you ask?
I'm driving home from California soon. Oh, okay. I didn't know he's out there in Cali. Soon all my friends from Texas have told me to stop at Buc-ee's. Is it up to the hype? Yes, it's great. I love that place. You can hang out in there for an hour or so. It's like a Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, a QT, a Pilot Travel Center, and like Frankie's Fun Park wrapped into one.
You know, I watched your video on the Buc-ee's, and that's pretty cool. I kind of want to go and check that out. I may convince the wife. We may drive down to Florence and look at the new Buc-ee's. Why not?
Slightly busy.
Yeah, that'd be busy. We may go find a park up there and hike, and then stop at Buc-ee's on the way back. See what happens. Kids might like it. They got ice cream and all that shit there, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we're also streaming on Twitter tonight at Rob Sounds Good. If you're following us there, follow Carolina Jackpot on YouTube. In addition
on YouTube, yeah, let's get the numbers back up to where they used to be. Great numbers.
Yeah,
right now, they're like a beached whale.
Well, you shouldn't call me a beach whale on the podcast, Jackpot. That's not
Well, sorry.
Anyway, but no, follow us at Carolina Jackpot. In addition to Jackpot running around doing food reviews, we've got all kinds of great college.
But Baylor Man said Buc-ee's is amazing. It's a massive gas station, a huge gift shop. It used to be a Texas exclusive, but now they've branched outside the state. I did see where they've also opened one on the interstate in Kentucky, which is probably a mistake. They'll probably fucking ruin it.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so anyway, let's get into this, Jackpot. Do you want to do, I'll let you have the honors here. Do you want to do South Carolina playing Clemson schedule first, or do you want to do Clemson playing South Carolina's schedule? Which way you want to go first?
Let's do the bad guys playing the Gamecock schedule first.
All right.
Since
So
that is what the title of the video tonight is. So we might want to kind of go along with that. Elsewise, we'll have to edit that out.
Good point. So we'll start with Clemson playing South Carolina's schedule. The start would be Georgia State at home. The last meeting between these teams was in 2014. Clemson won that one pretty big. They lead the series 1-0. I think we both can agree, even though you sent me something the other day about Georgia State that was interesting, didn't you, buddy?
I did. They got a lot of players coming back on that team. A lot of experience coming back.
Yeah.
And a head coach that I think is ready to probably exact a little bit of revenge on the folks in Columbia, wouldn't you say? Not necessarily the fans, but maybe the brass.
Yeah. I think we both will agree, though, that Clemson should win that game, don't you think?
I believe so. I believe that yeah. Their opening game this year against the Georgia team is going to go better than last year's opening game against the team from the state of Georgia.
All right. Up next is Arkansas on the road. Can you believe these two teams haven't never played each other, Jackpot?
Yeah, I can. Clemson doesn't want any of that.
Please. No previous matchups. I'm taking Clemson to win this game, and I'll tell you why. Teams that have a good defensive line give Arkansas problems. And with the offense that they run, Clemson will live in that backfield. And I think Clemson wins by 10 points on the road.
Loss. Arkansas is a good team. I think that KJ Jefferson picked up a receiver in the transfer portal. Got a good running game there. I like what Sam Pittman's got going on. I think Arkansas fans are going to be ready for this one, the first ever matchup against Clemson. And I think Arkansas gets that one at home by about a touchdown.
All right, up next is after the Arkansas matchup, it's Georgia at home. Georgia is not the same team they were last year, but Georgia has a better quarterback right now than Clemson does. And I think that Clemson would drop that game to Georgia because I don't have any faith in Uiagalelei. I think it'll be just like last year's game where it'll be like 9-6. But I think that's what'll end up happening. I think it'll be a low-scoring game because Uiagalelei, until he can prove something against a good defense, I'm not buying it. So I've got Georgia winning that game.
Yeah, Georgia's still got some players. Got some talent on both sides of the ball. And I think they would be a little bit too much for Clemson there. Say Georgia wins that one.
Up next is Charlotte at home. Clemson leads that series 1-0. Last played in 2019. Clemson wins big.
Yeah, I think that that Charlotte does not beat an ACC team this year, and I think that Clemson takes care of business there by at least 4 scores against is young Dabo still the coach there? The little Dabo clone dude.
What was his name? I can't remember the guy's
Will
name.
Healy.
Hewley. There we go. Up next, South Carolina State at home. Clemson will have no problem with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think they'll slide by.
Kentucky on the road. Interesting note about that. Kentucky leads the overall series. Clemson has won 4 of the last 6. 8 of the wins that Kentucky has in the series. The only person alive to see it is Billy in the chat room because they were before 1936. So I think that Clemson goes on the road, and I think they handle Kentucky. I really do. I think the defensive line is going to push Kentucky around. And remember, Kentucky had issues at home with the snake last year with their wide receiver that was really, really good. So give me Clemson to win that game.
Yeah, I think Kentucky beat. I think Clemson will beat Kentucky. Kentucky just fucking sucks. Fuck them. I want you to beat them.
There you go.
No, I think Clemson's defense would be too much for them. I just don't think that Kentucky has enough weaponry on offense. Isn't that the word? Weaponry. I think they have enough weaponry on offense to really be able to exploit the Tater D.
Up next is Texas A&M. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jackpot. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry. Anyway, Texas A&M at home. That series is tied at 3. Clemson has won 3 in a row. My notes are Jimbo Fisher is a cunt. Fuck them with a horse hoof. I don't like Texas A&M, so Clemson wins just out of spite.
Yeah, close game. Something to prove. I think Texas A&M wins.
You got A&M winning. Okay. At home. All right. Right down. Up next, Mizzou at home. Clemson leads that series 3-1. I don't think Mizzou has enough to come into Death Valley and win. So I'm taking Clemson to win there.
Yeah, the only thing they're going to have is a wide receiver and with no quarterback to throw the ball to him. He's going to be basically as useless as a 3-legged table. I think Clemson will roll in and beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Up next, Vanderbilt. Vandy leads that series 3-1. The last matchup was in 1960. I think that's just Clemson rolls. I don't think anybody's going to really argue that.
Owns them. I think it's kind of tight for a while, but I think Clemson ends up getting the win.
Are you going to be serious during this, or are we just going to be fuckos?
What? I said who's going to win.
You said it's going to be tight. I mean, try to be honest. Clemson's going to roll those fools.
Clemson, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt rolled into Start Vegas
game here
a couple of years ago and gave Mike Leach a game for 3 quarters.
Oh, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
They gave Tennessee a game once. Yeah.
All right, then I'll pick Vanderbilt to beat South Carolina because they've beaten them before. I'll just say stupid shit like that. Tennessee at home. Tennessee leads that series 11-6. The last win was by Clemson in 2004. I think that Clemson wins by 10 points or more. Oh, I forgot the Florida game, but we'll come back to Florida. But I've got Tennessee losing probably by more than that, so that Billy will have a heart attack. I think Clemson wins big.
What game are we predicting?
Tennessee, because I skipped over Florida by accident.
That's going to be interesting. I think they're going to put some points up on you, kind of expose the defense a little, and this is kind of a case like last year with Pitt. Is going to force the ukulele to make some plays to get the job done, and I just don't see him being able to do it. I think Tennessee gets the win.
Up next is before that game would be Florida. Florida leads the series 9-3. The last meeting was in 1961. I think that Billy Napier's still got to get some guys down there. I think Florida drops that game.
Yeah, I think Taters take care of business there.
All right, and then South Carolina at Clemson. Clemson has a 30-game lead in the series. Clemson wins by double digits.
Not happening this year. That little streak comes to an end.
All right. So in the land of reality, Clemson goes 11-1. In the land of jackpot fuckery, Clemson goes 8-4 with the South Carolina schedule. That's just not. I mean, that's not being honest at all. But okay.
Well, when things like that are presented, most of the time, when you have two intelligent folks arguing over something like that, normally ends up somewhere around in the middle, which is about 9-3. That's about right.
Well, just so you dum-dums know, Clemson's got 4 guys on the defensive line that are going to be picked first in the draft. They've also got an all-pro at linebacker as well. And not to mention one of the best safeties in the country. But
An
UW,
all-pro?
yeah, he's going to be an all-pro. Write it down.
Who's
Look it
that?
up. Which one? The linebacker Simpson. And Barrett Carter, too. The kid
Who
from
are
Georgia.
the four the number one draft picks?
The 4 that could be drafted in the first round, obviously, the guy that oh goodness, I can't remember his name.
Can I help
Yeah,
you out
Brian
a little
Brzee
bit?
is 1. Miles Murphy is number 2, and then you've got Xavier Thomas at 3.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Come on down.
I can't believe
He's
Xavier
projected
Thomas.
as a first-round pick by Walter Smith, man, not me.
Okay.
Anyway, I've got them at 11-1, and that's being generous because I think they could go 12-0. Jackpot's got them at 8-4. All right, let's look at the South Carolina schedule before we take calls. And South Carolina would open up with Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Tech leads that series 12-9. South Carolina won the last meeting in 1991. I think South Carolina hammers Georgia Tech, even with Tyson Fomachu playing quarterback.
Yep, Gamecocks.
South Carolina versus Furman at home. The Gamecocks lead that series, and I think this is right, Jackpot, 28-20-1. I didn't know that Furman was that competitive with you folks, but I still think the Gamecocks win big over Furman.
Yeah, I was at I went the last time Furman beat South Carolina. That was in 1982. They lost 28-23 to the Paladins.
South Carolina versus Louisiana Tech at home. I think the Gamecocks will win that game.
3-0.
Up next, South Carolina plays at Wake Forest. The Gamecocks lead that series 34-20-2. They've won 7 straight. The game is at Wake Forest, and for teams that have not seen that Wake Forest offense, like, I don't know, Texas A&M, asked them about it. That's why they ducked them in a bowl game last season. I think Wake picks up the win.
They were sick. Now, make it 8 in a row. Gamecocks win.
All right, so I've got the Gamecocks losing.
You got to remember. We got to remember we have Wake Forest star player in our backfield. You don't think he's got any ideas of how to solve that fast-paced dumpster fire?
We shall see. South Carolina at home with let's see here. The next matchup will be South Carolina at home with NC State. I'm going to give the Gamecocks the win there because I just think that, I think the Gamecocks win that game. No, I think you win this year if you played them. I think that NC State's going to be one of the most overrated teams in the country. I really do.
You're going to win them. Gamecocks own them.
Okay, so we're going to go by the past. That's what you're going with. All right, cool. At Boston College, playing on the road, I'm giving that game to Boston College because I think they've got their quarterback back. They've also got 2 wide receivers coming back. I'm not sure how good the Gamecocks secondary is going to be, and I think Dracovic is going to pick them apart. And I think that Boston College wins at home.
I have to agree with you there. I think we would lose. That's just the kind of dump that South Carolina would go to and shit the bed against. So give me. I'd say Boston College.
All right, next matchup is South Carolina at Florida State. I was scared to bring up Florida State on the program because last year you lost your mind with Florida State and said, fuck them. I don't want anything to do with them.
I think it was 2019.
You were big mad. It's at Florida State, Jackpot. And when I looked at Florida State, they don't really have anybody that I think like it used to be. Defense was the pride at Florida State, and now it's like just a bunch of fuckeries. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't see. I think South Carolina will probably go down there to probably close to a pick 'em, but if Spencer Rattler's healthy, I think South Carolina wins.
Yeah, we kick their ass. I mean, they just don't have a roster. I mean, who do they have that stands out to you? They just don't. I mean, they don't have a roster anymore.
All right, next up, South Carolina at home with Syracuse. No previous matchups with the Orange. South Carolina should be able to push them around on the field. Give me the Gamecocks to win.
Yeah, I think we mouth pump the Orange.
South Carolina at Notre Dame. Notre Dame leads that series 3-1. South Carolina, by the way, won the last matchup in 1984.
Yep.
I think going on the road and playing up there against
32.
Yeah, were you at that game?
No, not that
I
way.
didn't know if you made me win. I know you were a big fan.
Yeah.
I've got South Carolina dropping that game at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think we don't have enough touchdowns for touchdown Jesus that day.
At home with Louisville. Louisville is a shit show, and South Carolina should beat them at home. They don't impress me not one goddamn bit. So give me South Carolina to win.
Then
they
have no defense.
Miami.
You shred them.
At home with Miami. Jackpot, what's your pick on that game?
Win. We got confidence by this time. We're rolling.
I think that Miami probably will make that game really, really close.
And everybody thinks automatically that Miami's going to be better because they have Mario Crystal Balls down there coaching the team and a couple of fucking transfers.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they've got stability at quarterback. And I think that if their quarterback is in there and he's made it to that point where, they're confident in that part of the season, I think Miami can win. So I'm going to take Miami.
All right. Well, you can do that.
And then finally, Clemson and South Carolina. Clemson wins by double digits.
Nope.
So I've got, let's see here, 1, 2 losses, 3 losses, 4 losses, 5 losses. I've got South Carolina at 7-5. Jackpot, you've got them at, let's make sure I got it right here. A win over Tech, Furman, La Tech, Wake Forest is 4, NC State is 5, Florida State is 6, Syracuse is 7, Louisville is 8, Miami is 9. You got them at 10-2.
10-2.
10-2 for Jackpot.
10-2. We're going to party like it's 1984.
And when you beat Notre Dame, right?
Well, yeah. Well, they were apt that year too, to be honest with you. So
7-5 is what I think. Is what I've got. All right, so we'll keep this for the bookcase of accountability and see where. Well, actually, we'll never know, but we'll see how this. We'll revisit this at the end of the season. All right, Jackpot, do you want to take some calls?
Do I?
I doubt they beat NC State. Okay.
What is everybody sucking the NC State penis for? Hell, they didn't even play a bowl game.
I don't think that they're. I think that they're one of the most overrated teams in football. I'm just saying. Let's see here. Someone sent us a super chat earlier. I can't remember who it was. Let me go up here and look.
I believe it was Sancho.
Yeah, Sancho said something to the effect of Rob is melting. No, I mean, Rob doesn't care. I'm battling a cold. Can't hurt my feelings, man.
You might need to melt.
I might need to melt so I can get refirm back up.
SEC Dog said something about Zeb Piggly Wiggly Nolan is better than that was a classic moment there. That was after that the first quarter. I remember last year at the East Carolina game when I stepped out there by the concession stand and made a little live video, and I was bitching about the play of the damn team, and I was like, hopefully, I said on the bus ride back to Columbia, I said there's a Piggly Wiggly. I said we passed it on the outskirts of Greenville. Hopefully they'll drop that son of a bitch off, go in there, get him to ask the assistant manager for a job application, and maybe he can just start a new career.
That's funny. Yeah. It's hilarious. All right. So 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you'd like to join us here on the program this evening, we'll take your calls. Jackpot's got Clemson at 8-4. I mean, he's obviously drinking some hillbilly juice. I've got Clemson 11-1 if they played South Carolina's schedule. I've got the Gamecocks at 7-5 with Clemson's schedule. He's got them at 10-2. So, we don't have to agree with each other, but if you think it's different, let us know. 803-470-2905. Billy says, everyone in here call your friends tomorrow and have them tune in at 3. Rob has bills. No. Look, I appreciate the folks that tune in and watch the show during the day, but the interaction's great. So I appreciate y'all as always. Sancho says 49 in here, 21 likes. Hit the button, you goons. He's calling you goons. Brandon hired Freddie Kitchens.
Goons.
Yeah. The former Browns head coach. Okay.
I saw something about that this afternoon. I haven't read up on that literary part yet.
Yeah, I read that. It's pretty good. I mean, he may come in and help. Who knows? He's coached on the pro level, so I mean, maybe he'll be able to relate some of the kids that are there. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. All right, 803-470-2905. Clemson would more than likely go 9-3 to 10-2 with South Carolina's schedule. Okay. Look, I think that
more towards 9-3, definitely.
I think the Clemson schedule is more, if Clemson played that schedule, I think that the toughest games on there would be the Georgia game and, the Arkansas game on the road. The rest of the schedule, Clemson should roll right through.
Texas A&M would spank your bottom maroon.
Okay. Frothy Tavern says, who's going to finish second in the SEC East? Kentucky, South Carolina, or Tennessee? It's a good question. We're going to have full picks on that, by the way.
I don't know. Everybody's pretty high on Tennessee right now. Tennessee. They don't have no offense. I mean, they don't have no defense. Excuse me. That's the problem.
Who's got a chance to be more overrated? Tennessee or Miami?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Tennessee, the gimmick offense, like you were saying, is last year it caught everybody not so much by surprise, but I mean, they have film on it, but they hadn't experienced it yet. This year, everybody on the schedule has experienced it. So, with that being said, it should be a little bit easier to stop, despite the fact that everybody's got a year more experience.
Walter says it's Miami. Baylor Man says it's Miami. JetMex says it's Miami, but yeah.
Then you got if you're not able to move the ball as well as you thought you were going to be able to, then I mean, is your defense going to hold up? I mean, and you score quickly, and then you get stopped, and you turn around, and you have to put the defense right back out on the field. I don't know.
Well, I think that for Tennessee to be better, in my opinion, and look, they're going to have their ability to score points. I mean, we know that it's there, but in my opinion, for Tennessee to be successful, they're going to have to figure out the stuff on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that they should run, and I've talked about this, run the 4-2-5, man. Put 5 really good athletes on the back end of it, and just let the offenses eat you up between the 20s, and then go from there, and then hope that your offense can be as special as you think it is. So yeah, there's that. Mr. Boogie says no one is expecting big things from Miami this year. They're projected in the top 25. So Anyway, all right. Call the show 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. Richard says,
Read Papa B's comment there. For example, NC State whipped Clemson last year, but they couldn't beat the worst SEC East or SEC West team.
okay.
But
All right.
neither could Kentucky.
I mean, so under that logic, Kentucky struggled with the snake, so they're a shit show. Is that where we're gonna go? I mean,
That's not the size of it.
That's that. So that's the way that it works. Okay. David says Georgia Tech will make a bowl game. Mark it. I'm not buying that. I'd pick Georgia Tech.
I mean, I don't know why that's so far fetched. They just got to pull up Georgia Tech's schedule, and let's see if you think that's possible.
All right, hold on. Georgia Tech. Let's see here. Georgia.
Everybody's been giving them a hard time for a while. Why's everybody always picking on me?
All right, here's Georgia Tech's schedule.
Run it down for me, Rob. Let me give you a win game.
All right, Clemson.
Loss.
Western Carolina at home.
Win.
Ole Miss at home.
Loss.
At UCF.
Loss. Damn, that's a tough schedule.
Then after that, at Pitt. Loss.
I mean,
October the 8th against Duke. That's
win.
At home.
That's two.
Virginia at home.
They could win that.
All right, so that's what, 3? Okay. At Florida State.
It's probably a loss.
At Virginia Tech.
Probably a loss.
Miami at home.
Probably a loss.
At North Carolina.
I'd say it's probably a loss.
At Georgia.
You ain't making a bowl game.
What a fucking bowl game.
There's no way. I mean, that non-conference schedule is, that's awful. I mean, they got Ole Miss. I mean, the Taters, that's a conference game anyway. But you got to open up with the Taters, and then you turn around and play Ole Miss and at UCF. I mean, that's no damn joke.
Yeah. I mean, that's 3 wins. I think that's the top. Bible Belt says bye-bye Jeff Collins. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
But, I mean, could you really be justified in firing him after? I mean, that's a gauntlet.
I mean, I think that there may be some validity to that because he had to completely rebuild that entire team, completely rebuild the way that the offense flowed and everything else. Yeah, if you get somebody else, I mean, I don't know, man. That's a very good but tough question there, Jackpot. So
Papa B said they are missing Johnson's wishbone right now.
Yeah, 803-470-2905. By the way, Tyson Fomatru transferred there. Also, E.J. Jenkins, big tight end for South Carolina, transferred there too, Jackpot. Did you see that?
Yeah,
so
I remember something about that.
They're gonna have a big ass tight end, and they're gonna have Tyson Fomatru, who I think that last season he should have been given more of an opportunity to play, especially the way he battled back from rupturing his Achilles tendon in the spring to getting out there and playing in the fall. With the way that Uyunglele just sucked an asshole, he should have been given more of a chance. So I don't blame him for leaving. I really don't. And they probably told him
that was Dabo. Dabo was too much of a weenie to pull his ass and sit him down because he was playing like shit. I'm sure he was afraid that he'd hit the damn transfer portal if he pulled him out of a game, because everybody's all about me nowadays. When, if he did, then who fucking cares? Leave. I mean, he's not any good anyway.
they may have had some reservations about putting Fomachu out there with his Achilles the way that it was. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they were scared. DJ would get
He
mad and
had
plant
some more
stuff.
snaps towards the end of the season. So, SEC Dog says Georgia Tech is worse than Vanderbilt. Prove me wrong. 0-12 is possible for the nerds. Okay.
They're not losing to Western Carolina. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see them losing to Western Carolina. Although they did lose to the Citadel a couple of years ago, but
They did. Didn't Jeff Collins have something stupid to say after that?
yeah, he's. I mean, Jeff Collins runs around with that fucking Waffle House cup. I hope I get him on the program for ACC kickoff, and I'm going to ask him about the Waffle House cup. That's going to be on the list of questions. Like, really. Bad Bastards, what do y'all think Georgia's record will be? I don't know. We're gonna go, team by team eventually, but we gotta look and see where all the transfer portal, all that ends up and everything else. So we shall see.
Richard Hewitt says the Vandy quarterback has wheels. Yes, he do.
All right, 803-470-2905. You'd like to join us on the program this evening. 803-470-2905. Thank you guys for checking out the show. It's awesome. And of course, the phone lines are open for you if you would like to join us here on the program. You agree with jackpot with South Carolina or the Clemson schedule? If you want to tell me that I'm a dickhead for it, I'm fine with that too. SEC Dog says they lost to Northern Illinois. It's possible, sir. That's a good point. Good point. You lose to a directional school from Illinois, you've got problems. Funny. All right, 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. Billy with a good comment. All Vandy quarterbacks need to have wheels. They're running for their lives. Yeah, that's true.
All right. How much did Clemson play for DJ? Too damn much.
Yeah, I don't. And that's some waste of some NIL money, man. He may, he's one of those guys. He has to come out with a chip on his shoulder this year, because if he doesn't, he's. I wonder how much of a leash he's going to be on. I really do.
I don't. I think it'll be very short this year. I mean, because God dang it. It's time to stop playing nice. And fools.
Yeah. Vandy versus Georgia Tech, Kansas versus UConn. Okay. Is Dr. Pepper trying to get a refund yet? Yeah, that's a good question too. That's funny. The Bojangles thing where he had all that chicken that he was given to the offensive lineman. That was just great. What a shit show that was. Funny. Mr. Boogie says 3 games. You might be right about that, because Clemson's schedule to start the season is the schedule for Clemson this year, by the way, is a shit show anyway. But I'm not going to sit here and try to defend that Clemson schedule. But I think just on defense alone, Clemson walks through the first 3 games without a hitch. The big thing's going to be at Wake Forest. They're going to have to score some points. They're not just going to walk up in there and just roll Wake Forest. They're going to have 24 points, I think, from the offense. And that may be I think that game at the half, if he comes out and he's thrown a couple of picks or he's just looked like a fucking idiot, Klubnik may be put in to run the offense in the second half.
Well,
and they may deal with whatever the fuck it is he does as a freshman.
To be fair, Clemson normally plays pretty well against Wake Forest, even when Wake Forest has, really good team like they did last year. Taters, really didn't have much of an issue with them.
Brent asked, what happened to my Phoenix Suns? They got beat by a bad white man. Let's just leave it at that. Luka Doncic is a beast. He just sent Chris Paul to the damn cleaners. So depressed about my Suns not being in the playoffs. Frothy Tavern says, what's the first game on South Carolina's schedule that's a potential for a jackpot meltdown video? Respectfully, jackpot gets pissed whenever they lose, but I think that he might get pissy with the Arkansas game. I don't know about the Georgia game, but definitely, I can tell you this. If Kentucky comes out and they score like 17 points in the first half, and it's like 17-3 at the half, yeah, get your popcorn. Jackpot's gonna
get your popcorn out.
Yeah, I mean, I can guarantee you that. If it's 17-3 at the half and Kentucky's winning up there at Kroger Field in front of 12,000 drunk fuckers, 8,000 South Carolina fans, and they're all just looking around like, what the fuck? Yeah, Jackpot's gonna lose his shit. I can guarantee you that. The Tennessee game would probably piss him off too. If Tennessee goes up, if there's like another setup like what was it, like 3 seasons ago or whatever, where they scored they had the block punt and all that shit, and they ended up winning big time up at Tennessee.
Oh my God, that pissed me. That fucking pissed me off to no damn end. Because with Muschamp and his stupid fucking ass. I mean, and that just fucking made me madder than hell. Because that was the game they went ahead. Like I remember, like Ryan Walensky threw a touchdown pass to Shi Smith on like the second play of the game. It was like 85 yards. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be easy. And then they let those fuckers come back.
Smith or Edwards?
No, it was Shi Smith.
Oh, it was Smith. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I was like, then they let the fuckers come back and tie it. And then they went back and forth a little bit. And I remember Brian Edwards had that. Remember when he had that amazing catch with like one arm in the end zone, and he fell on his fucking ass right there before the half.
Oh yeah.
And we were ahead at halftime. And in the second half, they come out and they let that Batuli fucker block a damn punt and take the son of a bitch back for a damn touchdown. And they rode that fucking fake punt to a damn win. I think we threw a damn pick six too. So I mean, when you're giving them the fucking game, I mean, who's not gonna damn take it? Giving them the fucking game. That's all on them Muschamp and shitty ass special teams play. Which I mean, they didn't have a Pete Limbo, so things like that don't happen anymore. Fucking.
Billy says he was at that game, sat next to Gamecock fans, kept asking them to cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, I bet they wanted to slap the shit out of you.
And, hey, it's a fuck, man. Tennessee fans are great.
I'm getting hot just thinking about them football.
Are you more pissed at? I mean, would the Tennessee game piss you off more, or the Kentucky game? The Tennessee game's at home, so yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think that game would. That might piss off Jackpot more if you.
Yeah, I think
come in down here. If you go up there and lose on the road, all right, but you come down here and you bring all those hillbillies. They run around here and like, man, they got dentist here. Look at that shit. Yeah. Brent wants to know what's happened to the Atlanta Braves. They're not hitting the ball very well, sir. I mean, what else do you want from me?
They're in last place.
I don't know if they're in last place or not. Hell, I got to look that up now, Jackpot. That's a good question. Are they in last place? That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's look it up here. The standings right now, the Braves lost today in extra innings, by the way. It's fucking ridiculous. They were leading in the ninth and lost. All right, so currently in the standings, your defending world champion. They're not in last place. They are 7 games behind the shit Mets at 17-21. They are 5 games ahead of the Nationals for that last place. So,
is Cincinnati still the worst team in baseball?
Yeah, they're 10-26. They've won 6 out of their last 10, though. That's pretty good.
Right.
I mean, they may be pretty good. So I don't know.
Just hit a good spell there. I don't think they're pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Final call for calls 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you're subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click the little bell there, and that'll tell you every time that there is a. I read that today after watching Jackpot's video about that. If you click the bell that's up there on the subscribe page, every time the show goes live, you'll get a notification instead. I don't know how true that is, but we shall see. Elijah says he'd love to see a Tennessee Clemson game. Yeah, I think that I think we should get to a point where teams like Clemson play Florida and Tennessee and stuff like that. Why not? That would be the way to go. I mean, maybe eventually we'll get to that, but we'll see.
Have you ever been to the Cincinnati Reds Great American Ballpark?
Yes, I went one time. It's not bad. All right. I'm still a guy though that like I love Turner Field, and I don't know why they
get to it.
Yeah. I think that Turner Field was a great place, but who knows at that point. All right, let's go to the phones. Welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey,
Hello.
fellas, this is Baylor Man. How y'all doing?
Hey, Baylor man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm gonna kind of add an interesting part to the segment. How do y'all think your teams would do with Baylor's schedule? I've got the schedule pulled up. If you want me to name off the teams.
All right, Jackpot, you want to do this? You want to go?
Sure.
What do you want to do? South Carolina first. All right, go ahead.
All right. First game is you've got the University of Albany Great Danes.
That's a Gamecock win.
God.
Oh, Albany, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Why'd you have to go all the way to? Oh my lord.
Well, it was originally supposed to be Louisiana Tech, but I guess they backed out for whatever reason, and Baylor scheduled University of Albany as like a last-minute opponent.
They ducked Baylor so they could play the Taters.
All right, what's the next game?
At BYU, and that game will likely be at night.
Since Tennessee's scared to play them, I say we'd lose to them.
Yeah, I think that's a loss.
All right. Home against Texas State.
Jesus, your schedule's a shit show. South Carolina blows them out.
Yeah, our non-conference schedule is kind of crap. Outside of BYU.
All right.
We do play Utah next year, though.
Cool.
Then you've got at Iowa State.
I think the Gamecocks win that game.
Yeah.
Jackpot with the win. What else you got?
All right. Home against Oklahoma State.
I think fuck Oklahoma State. Electronics kicking Jackpot's ass. I'm taking South Carolina to win that game. Fuck Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler versus Mike Gundy again.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
them.
so homecoming. And then you've got at West Virginia on a Thursday night.
Give me the couch burners.
Yeah, nobody.
All right, what you got next?
Kansas at home. Don't lose that game.
Fuck off with all that. Fucking they run their mouth. We'll send Coastal to deal with those pussies. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so there's Kansas, then at Texas Tech.
Maybe
At
lose.
Texas Tech, yeah, I think they dropped that game.
Yeah, Texas Tech's pretty good, especially at home. And then at Oklahoma.
Loss.
That's a loss.
Yeah. And then home against Kansas State.
Fuck Kansas State.
I say loss. South Carolina has problems against the run. They got probably arguably the best running back in the country, Deuce Vaughn.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
Deuce is loose.
He's a good one. Yep. Oh yeah, double deuce. All right, then you've got TCU at home.
I
Please
think
beat
that's
the
a
Horned Frogs.
yeah. I think that's a win.
I would be a South Carolina fan that day, big time. And
right,
then round out the season at Texas.
Yeah, fuck Texas. I'll cheer for Al Qaeda before I cheer for Texas. So
quick shout out here. Shout out to Rover71 in the comment section trying to get some attention for himself. South Carolina doesn't even belong in the SEC. They can't compete with those teams. They belong in the same conference as Coastal Carolina. Well, we went 7-6 and won a bowl game in that conference last year, sir. So you can go suck on a big fat pile of Peter. How about that?
The entire pile, fucko.
The entire pile.
So I've got South Carolina like at 8-4 with that schedule, something like that.
One for each orifice of you.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. South Carolina's they're on the rise. I think that they might are due for a good season this season.
I think the thing that if you're a South Carolina fan, you have to like is that Spencer Rattler's going to be there for a year. Now, people would think, oh, he's only going to be there for a year. Yeah, but I think he's going to dot every I and cross every T and try to be the absolute best player that he could possibly be. And I think he's going to go into it with the mentality of, I'm going to throw for 3,000 yards, and I have to do that to make sure my NFL stock is correct. And I want everybody thinking that I'm a great guy and I'm a great fucking teammate and all of that. And if they get the absolute best Spencer Rattler and they can keep him clean, they're going to be theoretically they could be a problem. They really could.
I think he chose Oklahoma because of Shane Beamer. I don't know.
I don't think he was in on the recruiting staff, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, having that kind of quarterback talent,
he wasn't. He should have been.
Would be really good. So
yeah,
I
think he's due for a good season.
I don't have any confidence in the South Carolina offensive line, and I think most Gamecock fans don't either. What is it? Jackpot calls the offensive line coach the fat Arn Anderson.
He sucks.
He's not worth a fuck. I'm not confident in that offensive line at all. But I do think that they have Van and Jaheim Bell. So they've got a couple of guys, and then Stogner's supposed to be really good too. Yeah, so we'll see how that works out, but I have zero confidence in that offensive line. So
whose offensive line do you think is better between Clemson and South Carolina?
Well, Clemson's got Jordan McFadden, who is going to be an all-conference left tackle. So, but after that, I mean, I'll take the Clemson offensive line over the South Carolina line. A lot of it has to do because fat Art Anderson can't get their head right.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the days where Baylor's offensive line was complete crap. You know, back when even when they were good in 2019, their offensive line was horrible. But now they're like top 10. It's like a complete 180. But I don't know. But now we did South Carolina. Let's do Clemson.
Okay, go. The Great Danes, Clemson wins that game. Fuck Albany. Clemson wins.
Okay. At BYU, likely at night.
Clemson's not scared of no damn Mormons. Magic underwear, motherfuckers. Clemson's not scared of them.
Magic underwear.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah,
What's
it's
the
a
next one?
Mormon belief.
What have you been Googling?
It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. But so you got so 2-0.
I think
Texas
Clemson
State
beats. I think
Bobcats
Clemson beats everybody on that schedule, and the only game that'll be tough is Oklahoma. So I got Clemson 11-1.
Oh wow! Even Oklahoma State.
Yeah, fuck Oklahoma State.
They ain't beating Kansas State, dude. Are you crazy?
With JT Daniels.
Fuck them.
Okay. That'd be a good season. 11-1.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, Baylor, man. Hey, appreciate you calling the program, buddy. You have a good night, all right?
Oh, you too.
See you later. All right. 803-470-2905. Jackpot, we've had a good show. We'll hold on to these predictions here. And we're start when do the magazines come out? It's not too long now, right?
Yeah, it used to come out around the end of May, 1st of June, but after COVID, they kind of got delayed a little bit. Seemed like the last couple. I know in 2020 they were midsummer coming out, later in the summer, and last year it seems like it was a bit later as well. So I'm fine with that. I'd prefer they take a little bit of time, getting it right.
Yeah. Well, which ones do you buy, Jackpot? You get Phil Steele's, right? That's your favorite?
I love the Phil Steele. I love the Streets and Smiths. I like the Sporting News one. I like them all.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out for us. Get some of those in. That's when it kind of feels right. All right, Jackpot. You have anything else you want to add to the show this evening, sir?
I do not.
All right. Well, I'm going to finish my double vodka here. I'm going to go to sleep. Appreciate you guys, man. We'll see you later on. You guys have a great night.
All right.